Under Queen Sarah's leadership, the kingdom began to flourish in ways no one had imagined. With the heart of the Earth Stone, she healed not just the rift between her and Prince Akin but also the wounds that had long plagued the land. The fertile lands once plagued by drought now yielded abundant harvests, and the people of the kingdom began to live in harmony with nature, following the principles of respect, unity, and balance that Sarah had established. Sarah's wisdom became renowned, and emissaries from neighboring kingdoms sought her counsel. She introduced new ways of governance that valued the voices of the elders and the common people equally. But as her influence grew, so did the threats against her reign. One such threat came from Queen Ola, the ruler of a neighboring kingdom to the north. Queen Ola had once been an ally of Sarah's father, but she had grown resentful of Sarah's rise to power. Seeing Sarah as a challenge to her own authority, Queen Ola sought to undermine her. Queen Ola sent an emissary to Sarah, requesting a meeting under the guise of friendship and diplomacy. However, Sarah, ever wise and perceptive, sensed that something was amiss. She agreed to the meeting, but on the condition that it would take place in the sacred oasis of the spirits, a neutral ground where both rulers could speak freely. When the emissary arrived, he brought with him a sealed letter from Queen Ola, inviting Queen Sarah to visit her kingdom for peace talks. Sarah, though suspicious, decided to go, knowing that the peace of her kingdom rested on diplomacy. However, what she didn't know was that Queen Ola had secretly arranged for her to be ambushed during the journey. As Sarah and her entourage made their way north, they were attacked by a group of mercenaries. The attack was brutal, and though Sarah fought valiantly, she was captured and taken to Queen Ola's kingdom, where she was imprisoned. While imprisoned in the dungeons of Queen Ola's palace, Sarah had little hope of escape. Yet, even in the darkest of places, her mind remained sharp. She spent her time observing her surroundings, learning the weaknesses of the guards and the layout of the castle. She also found comfort in the stories her ancestors had told her, drawing strength from their courage and resilience. Meanwhile, Prince Akin, hearing of his wife's capture, gathered an army to march north. But before he could take action, he received a cryptic message from Elder Alu, warning him that the conflict would not be won by force alone. "Your strength lies not in your sword," the elder's message said, "but in your heart and your mind. Go to the Temple of the Ancestors and seek their counsel." At the Temple of the Ancestors, Prince Akin encountered an old priestess named Oma, who revealed that the kingdom's future would depend on the wisdom and unity of its leaders. "The battle between you and Queen Ola is not one of might," Oma said. "It is a battle of hearts and minds. If your heart is pure and your intentions just, you will win." With newfound clarity, Prince Akin decided to challenge Queen Ola to a battle of wits, an ancient tradition that could resolve conflicts without bloodshed. He would present the people of Queen Ola's kingdom with a series of challenges, each designed to test wisdom, diplomacy, and the strength of character. The day of the challenge arrived, and the two kingdoms gathered in the grand hall of Queen Ola's palace. Sarah, though still imprisoned, could hear the sounds of the gathering crowd. Queen Ola, sitting on her throne, smiled smugly, believing that her power would soon crush Sarah and her kingdom's reign. Prince Akin, however, arrived not with an army, but with his words. The first challenge was a test of wisdom. Prince Akin posed a series of riddles, drawing from the histories and philosophies of both kingdoms. Queen Ola's people answered with confidence, but they quickly faltered, as they lacked the deeper knowledge that had been passed down through the generations in Sarah's kingdom. The second challenge tested the strength of character. Both rulers were asked to speak about the future of their people, and the importance of fairness and justice in their rule. Queen Ola spoke of power, wealth, and dominance, but Prince Akin spoke of compassion, unity, and the well-being of the common people. His words resonated deeply with the gathered crowd. The final challenge was a test of leadership, where each ruler had to propose a new law for their people that would improve their lives. Queen Ola's proposed laws were self-serving, aimed at strengthening her control. But Sarah, even in her imprisonment, had already sent word to the people. Through a trusted ally, she sent a new law that would protect the rights of women, elders, and the disadvantaged, ensuring that every voice would be heard in her kingdom. With the final challenge complete, Prince Akin declared the results to the gathered people. "This battle has been won, not with the sword, but with wisdom and heart. Queen Sarah's leadership is built on compassion and justice, while Queen Ola's reign has only led to division and oppression. Queen Ola, humiliated by the defeat, sought to save face by offering Sarah her freedom, though it was clear that she had lost her influence. Sarah, wise as always, accepted the offer with grace, knowing that mercy was a powerful tool in the hands of a true leader. As Sarah returned to her kingdom, the people of both kingdoms rejoiced. The peace that had once been fragile was now solidified, not through war, but through wisdom, unity, and mutual respect. Sarah and Akin reaffirmed their commitment to the kingdom, ruling together as partners and upholding the values of fairness, equality, and justice. With the challenges of war and politics behind them, Sarah and Akin focused on rebuilding the kingdom. They initiated programs for education, agriculture, and the arts, allowing their people to thrive and grow in every aspect of life. The kingdom of Mwendo became a beacon of hope and prosperity, admired by neighboring kingdoms. As Sarah's influence spread, she became known as the Queen of the Heart, revered for her wisdom, her courage, and her ability to unite people from all walks of life. Her legacy inspired countless stories, songs, and poems, and her rule became a model for future generations of leaders. When the time came for Sarah to pass on the mantle of leadership, she did so not by bloodline, but by choosing a successor who embodied the same qualities she had valued: wisdom, compassion, and strength of character. Her daughter, Io, was chosen to continue the work of her mother, and the kingdom continued to prosper under her leadership. Years passed, and the people of the kingdom never forgot the lessons that Queen Sarah had taught them. The baobab tree, which had once whispered to her in the darkest hour, stood tall and proud in the heart of the kingdom. It was said that Sarah's spirit still resided within its ancient roots, guiding the people and reminding them of the strength that came from unity with the land, the ancestors, and each other. And so, the story of Queen Sarah, the true African Cinderella, was passed down through generations. A tale not of magic and fantasy, but of real strength, leadership, and love. Her legacy endured, not in the annals of kings and queens, but in the hearts of the people who had known the power of justice and the courage to stand up for what was right.